Welcome to the online tutorial classes for the Vidya Bhavan Higher Secondary School, and I am Megha ma'am, and this class is for class 11, and the subject which we discuss today, the chapter is fats and oils in nutrition. This video is part 1. So the very first we have to know what is a fat. Fat is on the macronutrients family. So carbohydrate, protein and fat, these three are in the group of macronutrients. And the very first we have to know the elementary principles of the fat. Elementary principles of the fat. So the very first we have to know what are the composition of the fat, or by which a fat can be produced. So the composition. Fat is mainly composed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So it's a compound made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, where the hydrogen and the oxygen ratio is 2:1. Okay. So the next we are coming to the solubility. The fat is not soluble in water. So the fat is not soluble in water, but it is soluble in alcohol, like acetone and also petrol and ether, etc. Okay, so it is mainly the ester. Okay, so if we esterified it, the fatty acids and the glycerol, we will find the fatty acids and glycerol. Or if we find the fatty acid and glycerol from the fat, then it will call the triglyceride or simple fat. But if any other alcohol without the glycerol can produce from the fat, then it will be a wax. So if fatty acid and any other alcohol not glycerol are produced, then it will be called wax. Okay, so it is the main composition, solubility and the reactions of the fat. Then we are coming to the identification of the fat. Okay, I'm just erasing it. So now we are coming to the identification reaction. Identification. Okay. If fat and a base or soda are boiled together, then a glycerol and soap will be produced. So if a soap can produce from a fat, then it will be called the saponification reaction. So if the soap formed from the fat, it will be called saponification. Okay. So what is the main structural formula of a fat? It is RCOOH. And when the R is an alkene. What is an alkene? Alkene is a composition of hydrogen and carbon. Right? Then we are coming to the sources of fat. Everybody knows what are the sources of fat, right? What are the main sources of fat? There is some categorization of the sources, like some are visible fats, some are invisible fats. The most common visible fats are oils, any kind of oils, like the coconut oil, okay, or palm oil, or the invisible fat means the fat which we can't see, like milk. In milk, in the powder milk, near about 26% fat can be seen. Okay, or in any oil like this coconut oil, there are 100% of fat. Or can be also vanaspati. Vanaspati also rich source of the visible fat, right? So what are the daily requirement of the fat? Daily requirement. For any adult individual, there should be 50 or 60 gram of fat should be consumed in a day for a day's diet. And the 20% of these 50 and 60% of fat should be come from the essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids, which are very useful for our body. And within these essential fatty acids, 6% will came from the any like pulses or cereals, and the other from the milk. Okay, so it is the main category of the visible fat and invisible fats and the daily requirement. And I think it is enough for today, and in the next class we will be discussed about the functions of the fat and the categories of the fat, and where this according to the sources, according to the nature and everything. So thank you for the today.